So I'm using a little bit smaller paper, just because it fits better under my camera. But you can choose what kind of paper you'd like to use. I have the bigger paper, but the first thing, make sure you put your name in the corner. Put your name in the corner and your class. So today is 5VW. Now, we're doing paint. So we're painting and we're using our tempera block paints. Sometimes our blocks are in a little square like this. Sometimes our blocks are in our round tray like that. And these are just so we have a variety of colors. Now, we're going to work today, we're going to work on using our tempera paints, and we're working on our painting technique. So what I want to see is that you're really doing your best to wash out your brushes, to take care of brushes, to take care of paints, and that you are just really watching how you paint, thinking about what you're doing as you're doing it, and then kind of trying to get some smooth lines and paint big. We're using the big paper so that you can paint really big. We're making crazy faces. You might have done this in a different grade level or at a different time. So the crazy face is up to you. If you want to look at a face or look at somebody to get kind of some ideas. What I'm doing now is just putting a little bit of water, just getting a dab of water for each of my colors. Remember, if you have a color kind of like the yellow and it might be a little dirty, sometimes you can get in there and just paint back and forth over it and clean off an area. Okay? If we're switching colors, it's a good idea to dab your brush on your paper towel if you're going to be changing colors. Now, what I want you to work on is not mixing the colors, keeping our colors nice and pure on your paper and on your tray. Okay, so this is a good skill to have when we want to keep our colors really nice. Okay, I'm going to get some yellow. And let's see. So if I want a smooth line, I'm going to paint and kind of let my bristles can kind of fan out. That's all right. But I want to try and keep that edge smooth. So I turn my paper if I want to. That helps me keep that edge nice. And then for this particular thing, I want you to try painting in, since we're trying a different kind of technique, try painting in fully. Okay? So I've got a beautiful yellow circle. That is actually going to be a nose. I think. Now, here's the other thing. Here's the other thing we're going to work on today. Not just that we're keeping our colors nice and practicing our painting technique, we're also working to welcome our mistakes, and if something doesn't turn out the way we planned, letting that be okay, learning from our mistakes. A lot of artists actually change what they're doing or have their best artwork come from having to problem solve. So if they made a mistake or did something that they weren't planning on, but they use it to their advantage. So, if my eyes don't come out perfectly the same, what could I do? I could leave it. You could even it out. Okay, so I have one that's a little bigger than the other. What are my options? Make the other one bigger. I could keep coming back on here. What else? Just leave it. Go with it. Appreciate it.
It's a crazy
think that, yeah, it is a crazy face. Let one eye be bigger than the other. What else could I do? Turn it into where it's not an eye? Make it into something else?
A one-eyed monster.
A one-eyed monster. I could turn my paper a different direction and make it something else.
It looks like an igloo if you turn it upside down.
Oh. All good ideas. Oh, you know what? I am gonna...
Oh yeah, no, show everybody.
Actually, I'm gonna change it even myself.
It's a stingray.
Ooh, it kind of does look like a stingray. Now, my paint is getting a little bit dry. It's not flowing as nicely. So I'm getting a little bit of water to help it flow. We want our tempera blocks can be kind of thick paint. Sometimes I have kids water it out too much. I'm actually going to use a bigger brush. Now I'm not going to leave my brush in the water. I'm going to rinse it and lay it over here. Make sure it's clean. Mm-hmm. All right, now. Oh, I did, but I didn't ruin it. I changed it.
To a lips. Yeah, it's a mouth. It's a stingray.
Okay. So now I'm gonna rinse out my brush and change what I was doing. We'll see what else I can get.
Different types of brush.
Yeah, I have small brushes and big brushes. Now see how I was losing my paint? So I'm getting more paint and coming back over it. Good painting techniques. Good painting techniques. Try and using plenty of water. Plenty of water, plenty of paint. I could make my eyes actually two different ways. And I want you to work on filling things in. So if we're painting, it does a little bit. That's okay because my nose I was kind of going for that with my nose. All right. Now, I want you to keep going. If I want to paint the face in, I'm going to use a little orange maybe. If you're painting around something, boys and girls, if you're painting around something, so if I go to paint around this, I'm going to paint slow and smooth. And I want to wait kind of till one is dry until I start the other. Now, if you want it to have more than just a face, if you want it to be head, neck, shoulders, you can do that. If this paint is wet and it touches this paint, what will happen to them?
It will be ruined.
It'll mix. They'll run together. I turn my paper so that I can get a better angle. So I can get a better angle on painting around something. Remember, we're trying to keep our colors nice and pure. Now, I'm gonna have to think. Maybe I'll do red. Maybe I'll do red to fill in the other side. Okay. Now, I'm gonna stop But I want you to remember our goals. Our goals today, keep your colors pure for this project. Keep your colors pure. We can always work on mixing our colors later. Really take your time rinsing your brushes. Put them on your paper towel so you make sure they're clean. Put them on your paper towel to make sure they're clean. And good solid coloring, good solid painting and filling in. All right? And the other thing we're working on, our other main goal, there are no start over paintings. Okay? There are no mistakes. There are opportunities